For more on the reaction with inside the administration, we go to Manila Chan tonight. In Manila, there is a new threat this evening from North Korea.
And you are exactly right. This evening, the DPRK lobbed yet another threat over to Washington. They said they are ready to launch 4 immediate range missiles in the direction of Guam, claiming that they will get them in and around the U.S. territory within miles of landfall. Now, the KPA says they plan to do this by mid-August. The wording very ominous, the date's kind of unclear, the language a bit fuzzy, but the message is clear. They said, quote, "The strategic force is also considering the opening of the historic enveloping fire at Guam, a practical action targeting the U.S. bases of aggression." But prior to the KPA issuing that statement this evening, Mattis did not dial down that rhetoric earlier today. Instead, he said this. He said, quote, "The DPRK should cease any consideration of actions that would lead to the end of its regime and the destruction of its people." Meanwhile, today, en route back to the U.S. following the ASEAN summit, the Secretary of State Rex Tillerson appeared to take a more measured tone. This is a trend we're seeing with Tillerson. He's sort of seen as the adult in the room, careful to tone it down a notch, yet still able to back his boss.
What the president was doing is sending a strong message to North Korea in language that Kim Jong-un would understand, because he doesn't seem to understand diplomatic language. I think the president just wanted to be clear to the North Korean regime that the U.S., unquestionable ability to defend itself, will defend itself and its allies. And I think it was important that he deliver that message to avoid any miscalculation.
Now, a lot of people on the left are saying this is a divided administration, that there's no real defined plan of action on North Korea. But according to the State Department spokesperson, the words we're hearing are a matter of tone on the same message.
The secretary happens to be coming back from the ASEAN conference, where they had tremendous success. It was a good week for diplomacy. I know you all want to obsess over statements and all of that and try to want to make a lot of noise out of that. But what is important to keep in mind is that this diplomatic pressure at ASEAN, at the meeting of the 10 Asian nations, along with the United States, came to a joint agreement and a joint statement and put out a very strong condemnation of North Korea. We are all singing from the same hymn book.
So you heard it right there, Ed. If you parse through the words that each person used, it really boils down to someone's vernacular, the choice of words that come naturally for them. At the end of the day, it sounds as though the administration is not stepping down from the threats issued by the president yesterday. All this nuclear talk, though, coming on the anniversary of the atomic bomb being dropped on Nagasaki back in 1945. And the DPRK's final words this evening might seal their fate.
So this is diplomacy, I guess.
Modern day
making
diplomacy
threats back and forth.
during
Thanks,
the Trump
Manila.
administration.